Ali Gold, before as the transfer window, or just before the transfer window opened, said left wing is a priority next month, as well as potentially adding a midfielder and a centre back. A natural left back will be sought either now or in the summer. If Spurs move for a striker, the club are eyeing, many sides across Europe are eyeing Samu Agahawa. Players will be allowed to depart for the right price, with Johnson and Dragoshin looking for game time and having price tags that have not fallen. If Dragoshin departs this month, Spurs are expected to bring another centre-back. Midfield is expected to be a key upgrade area in January if the right candidate can be secured. So, out of all of that, they said the biggest priority was left wing. How's that worked out? Adding a midfielder, they did. A centre-back, they didn't. The midfield, I guess, has been upgraded, but not in the area that we wanted it upgraded. We wanted a passer in midfield, not another box-to-box player.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what have they been doing all month? What have they been doing in the build-up to this month? It's just like, we've got nothing that we've actually needed. The only real signing we've brought in is Conor Gallagher. Let's be real here, because Sousa's not ready.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's come in to be part of the academy. So, I mean, what have they actually done this transfer window? What? I don't understand.
Sammy Mockbell said before the window, he tweeted out saying, the Lewis family are reportedly ready to give significant funds to this transfer window. 150 million is going to be available. He said, after missing out on Semenyo, their financial package was bigger than Man City's, but they just missed out on him because he didn't want to come. But it proves that we're willing to go big this window. We're willing to push the boat out, and nothing's happened. We've sat on our hands and knees. We've replaced Brennan Johnson with Conor Gallagher. We've weakened the squad. We've also lost Danso potentially for the rest of the season, Bentancur for 3 months, Bergvall for 3 months, Ben Davis for the rest of the season, all in the space of a few weeks. It's a shambles. It's an absolute shambles, this window. Like, given the need for things to improve and to also make some statements of intent, we've had absolutely nothing.
And we said it at the time, yeah? What the hell was the point in selling Brennan Johnson on the 1st of January? You'd thought you'd at least get someone. Fine, if it wasn't straight away, which was a disgrace in itself, then fine, I could live with it if we actually bring someone in by the end of the window. But we're sitting here now with an hour and a half left to go of the window and still no one to replace Brennan Johnson. Like, is that not the biggest disgrace you've ever seen? Like, seriously, like, how can you sell our top goal scorer from last year, the guy that scored the most important goal? Yeah, fine, maybe technically he wasn't good enough and we can definitely look to upgrade him, but you got to upgrade him. You can't just let him go.
Agreed. And
with no replacement. It's ridiculous.
We said at the beginning of the window, you know, it's all well and good selling Brennan if there's a plan in place. And you were like, yeah, there's a plan for sure. You can't sell Brennan on the first day. It was on the first day, literally, the window opened. The minute the window opened, bam, deal done. And we agreed the deal.
Yeah.
It was like, it was ready to be done. So we knew about this deal before the window even opened. So we had all that time to plan. Palace were able to get ahead of the window and plan to sign Brennan. Yeah, we're sitting here sitting on our hands with absolutely nothing. Look, and I get it. January is a difficult window. I'm sympathetic to that fact. I was saying it throughout the whole window. Don't expect big things to happen because there's not going to be some saviour coming this window. Like, people saying, yeah, Frank just needs to get some signings in January and things will be okay. I'm like, if you're expecting big things to happen this window, like, I think you're a bit deluded. Nothing big is likely to happen. But when they sell Brennan, you're like, okay, they're selling him. They must be selling for a reason. Like, they're getting the money in. Like, they must have a plan to someone in the pipeline to bring in and replace him with. And it turns out we didn't. We just sold him because there was an offer. We said yes, and now we've significantly weakened the squad. The next day, Kudus goes down, so the need even grows even more, even though the need was already there, given the fact we need to replace him. So the need doubles, probably triples, after Kudus goes down for the 3 months. So you're like, okay, we have no right winger now. We need something. Maybe they've seen Odebear play as well as he has in the last few weeks. Like, we can get by with just Odebear. But if we overplay him, he's going to get injured. Like, we need options. We need players we can rotate with. And we're sitting here now, the window's about to shut, and we're in dire need of players. And we're look, we got the draw yesterday, so, you know, maybe there's a case to be said, well, are we really going to be dragged into the relegation battle? Maybe they're not, you know, they're thinking after yesterday's point and performance, after the comeback, they're like, yeah, we'll be fine. But, as you said, we got United away, they're in good form. West Ham play Burnley. If they get a result in that game and we lose, all of a sudden it's 6 points, and all of a sudden it's getting scary again. And the next 2 games we got a Newcastle and Arsenal, that can very quickly become 3 points if West Ham get a result in one of their other games and we lose both of those. So we're not out of the woods yet.
Well, you know what? Thank God that Paratici, accepted to stay here till the end of the transfer window. Done such a great job on getting us all these signings that we needed, all the firepower that we needed. He pretty much sold Brennan Johnson and dipped. That's what he's done.
Literally. He signed Manor for Fiorentina, sold Brennan, and he's like, I'm out of here. My job here is done. Don't need anything else. This club is a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
This is the first transfer window of this so-called ENIC 2.0. And it's worse than pretty much any Levy transfer window that we've had. And it's coming more and more apparent that a lot of people were saying at the time that Daniel Levy has just been a front for ENIC at the end of the day. And we're worse off now than we were before. That's what it seems like. We're completely worse off.
You know, if you're going to have this kind of window, don't brief the media before the window opens. We're going to spend big, we're willing to get big funds, all this rubbish. Right, if you know that how difficult the window is, you know you're basically going to be looking for opportunities. You're basically going to be looking for what can we do rather than what are we going to do. All right, so don't get all the fans excited and get them thinking this is going to be different and it's going to be like a big window, and Tottenham are going to have like a Chelsea-esque window like last January where they signed all these big players for big money despite them being in a rubbish position. Right, what was the window? They were like 12th under Potter. They were 12th in the league. Yeah, they were like, it doesn't matter. We're going to sign Enzo. We're going to sign, Madueke, big money. We're going to sign all these players in a January window because they showed like, yes, we're in this position now, but this isn't what we're going to be. So they were kind of implying that was the kind of window we're going to see. Yes, we're in a bad position in the league, but look, we're going to put our money where our mouth is. And even though it's going to cost us a pretty penny, we're going to get signings through the door for big money and show our ambition. And all we've done is sign a player we don't especially need in Conor Gallagher for the money that we've got Brennan Johnson in. And we've done absolutely nothing on top of that. And what is the scouting department for if it can't find gems or it can't find like players who you like what Brighton do? Like, you find little gems in maybe from foreign leagues that players don't know about, our clubs don't know about, or maybe someone you can take a bit of a risk on because you've looked at the data and you've seen, this kid is actually really good and he's not going to cost that much, and clubs aren't looking at him because he's a bit of a risk, but we can maybe take that risk right now because we're desperate for signings and it's not going to be a lot of money for us. Even those kind of signings where we don't want to do, maybe we don't trust our own scouting, but we've done absolutely nothing. We've done absolutely nothing. We've signed 2 teenagers who we don't consider ready, considering we're going to be looking at Robertson, who also fell through. Well, where was our backup for Robertson, by the way? If we decided we need a left back, right, which we clearly have decided by looking at Robertson, we're like, okay, we need that position. Okay, that fell through. Is that it? No other option? Nothing else? Do you not have anyone else on the list? Is there no one else you can go for? Apparently not. What is the project? What's the aim here? What's the project? What's the vision? I'm not seeing anything.
Andy Robertson is our guy. Andy Robertson is our guy. We're going to sign him in the summer. Watch.
What's the plan? What's
free
the strategy?
transfer in the summer? Andy Robertson.
It's absolutely pathetic. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're in this position where we're left with nothing, and now we're very, very short. You saw the bench on the weekend. We had 5 teenagers on there. Mm-hmm. We're struggling for players. We were looking at the teams we're up against. They're able to bring on, make 4 or 5 subs. We can't do that because we've got massive injuries.
Who are these people? Who are these people that are running our club right now? Vinay, What's he ever done to command the spot that he's got? He's a number 2 that came in and now he's running the show. Johan Lang, all he did was put Aston Villa in the gutter. Since Aston Villa have let him go. First of all, they demoted him while he was there, and ever since he's left, Villa have only been on the up. Like, who are these people, and what have they done in their careers to say they should demand this kind of jobs and of this kind of scale and magnitude at Tottenham Hotspur? Everything it's absolutely stinks and it's rotten from head to the core at Tottenham Hotspur. And until all that changes, what is ever going to change at this football club? Seriously, what is ever going to change? And, you know, we all thought, you know, getting Levy out, or some people thought getting Levy out would make the big difference. But it's not making the big difference. In fact, everything's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
At least under Levy, we panic buy, got Werner, got Dragashin. We made some deals. We made, look, there are risks. And
kill for a Timo Werner right now.
I'm saying there were risks and they didn't work, but at least he took the risk. You know what I mean? He got some loan deals in, got a player that they were looking at, and got Danso in late on last window. Deadline day. We got Danso in.
Yeah.
Got Tellin. Some young players that you can take a risk on.
I'm sick to death of hearing Thomas Frank in these press conferences being like, oh, yeah, we're in the market. We're active. Show us you're active then. Don't just keep saying it. I'm sick and tired of this talking nonsense.
Frank claimed on September time, from about September, they were starting to look at the January window. They were starting to plan for it. That's what he claimed.
Yeah.
From September, October time, they were starting to plan for the January window.
So they planned for 3 months, and this is what they've come up with.
It's absolute nonsense. And the thing is, when you compare us to other clubs, I understand, look, as I've said, I understand January is a tough window, but we have the money. The big problem at the moment with a lot of clubs in the Premier League is they're struggling to balance the PSR because, you know, they need to keep within their means. But Tottenham actually are in a very strong position. We can blow a lot of the competition out the water this window because we have strong financial muscle, but we're not using it. Well, either we're incompetent and we have no options and we have no one, we're not targeting anyone, or we're refusing to use our financial advantage that we have. Either one, because I refuse to believe that we have no targets, or there's no one on our list that we can go for.
You look at Fulham sign Oscar Bob. Why not go get Oscar Bob then if we're struggling that much in the wing department? We've seen Oscar Bob, you know, a budding kind of gem outside of the Manchester City Academy. I'm sure he'll make a good career for himself, and he's not like the end goal and someone that can, you know, spearhead us to go and win the league right now. But he's a player that can come in and definitely get some minutes for us right now. And
it's a risk worth taking, probably. You know, what was it, 27 million? I know it's, you know, a decent fee, but right now that's a risk worth taking for us. You know, if he works out great, if he doesn't, maybe you can loan him out and maybe he can turn into a good player with a loan, or get a bit of money down the line for him. But right now we are in dire straits in terms of what we have available.
Yeah.
We are in a massive injury crisis. We have what, 7 or 8 long-term injuries, or 8 now. Now Danso's injured, so 8 long-term injuries.
There were opportunities in this window if we really wanted it. We've just seen Ademola Lookman go to Atletico Madrid. If we would have put the money down on the table, we could have got him earlier on in the window. Oscar Bob's another one. There are players that we could have got. I'm sure there are other players that haven't moved and that could have been acquired throughout this transfer window. It's an absolute joke. We've just been twiddling our thumbs all window. 3 months before, yeah, we're going to have a big window. We've been planning so hard. We've been having meetings after meetings after meetings. How many meetings does Frank need to have?
How many lunches? Yeah, we have a good lunch today, Frank and V9, whoever was in that bloody lunch meeting. What did you have? Nice tuna salad or whatever it is. Honestly, pisses me off. Where's Lange? I bet he's on holiday in Denmark. He likes to go on holiday when the window opens.
Yeah.
Bring back Hitchin.
We actually had better January windows with someone that didn't even like. Oh, I hate the January transfer window.
He hated it, but at least he fucking did it. At least he was involved. Oh man,
this is just ridiculous. A couple of snoop chats. Sharpie says Enoch 2.0 out, 100%. Josh Bonner says sign too many 1D players who may have good stats upon recruitment, but it doesn't take a genius to see that they're limited Where's the football brain? That's the problem. There is no football brain at this football club. Who is the football brain? Who is this mastermind guy that knows so much about football? The one that knows most about football is Johan Lang, and he's incompetent as the rest of them. SRV for Life says, who should we bring in that would want to come? My worry is that Spurs are genuinely an unattractive place for players to come at the moment, especially with the stadium atmosphere right now. Yeah, and look,
here's my thing. If you have a competent recruitment department, then, yeah, look, I understand when you talk about big names, you talk about, big names across Europe or playing for good teams who are maybe starring for their teams. It's very difficult in January, especially, to get them through the door. But if you have a competent recruitment department, who's heard of half the players Brighton buy? But they seem to come in and work out. You know what I mean? Because they have exceptional recruitment. And it doesn't matter if we've heard of them. It's their job to bring them in. And I understand, look, maybe we'll sign someone and we'll be linked with this player and he'll be a 21-year-old from from Ligue 1, for example. And we'll be like, who is this guy? Why are we signing him? But then he comes in and then he's actually a very good, he could be a very good player. And I understand there might be some resistance to that initially, but it's not your job to listen to the fans and say, we only want these star players. It's your job to bring in players to improve the team. You know what I mean? And if we had a competent recruitment department, even if it's not a star name, you can still find someone. You can still find people. The footballing world is full of talented players. It's full of players who can improve you. It's all about finding those gems or finding those players, and we're incompetent in doing that. Our recruitment department absolutely stinks.
At the beginning of the window, they were like, yeah, we're going for Jan Diamande, Keenan Yildiz, all these players.
Yeah.
Oh, it's laughable, man. It really is laughable.
But even if you can't get those players in, take a risk, because we need to be a bit risk-taking at the moment.
Yeah. But look, another transfer window has come and gone. The window's not even shut yet, but in my eyes, it's shut, mate. Nothing's happening for the last hour and 10 minutes. So another failed attempt of a transfer window. Another transfer window where we've been lied to and more.
But what is actually, in terms of injury-wise, okay, we're going to get Romero and Van der Ven back soon. But in terms of, the forward line, what's actually going to improve in the near future? Okay, we're going to get Richarlison back in a couple of weeks. But in terms of the wings, it's Tell and Odebear, right? That's it.
Tell Odebear. I mean, it depends what formation we're playing. If we're going to persist with the 3-4-3, then you've got Javi there. That's it, really.
But right now, until April, in terms of proper wingers, we've only got Tell and Odebear.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we're not playing with a proper winger system at the moment.
Yeah, but what if the back three failed in that first half against City, and maybe what if we want to go back to the back four?
Yeah, then it's just Tell and Odebear. And I'm sure, just Tell and Odebear.
Until April, until Kudus is back fit, it's just Tell and Odebear.
Mm-hmm. And that goes for Champions League games as well.
And in terms of the Champions League squad after this now, so we've got Tell's going to be back in, Gallagher's in, and that's it.
That's all we need.
Unless Sousa gets in.
And I think Dragoshin will probably come in.
And Dragoshin. So who's going to go out?
Danso, probably.
Danso for Dragoshin. Bentancur for Gallagher?
Mm-hmm.
And then Johnson for Tell?
Yeah.
Who's that leave out? Basuma.
Do we need to put Basuma?
No, I'm just saying, who's it leave out? Basuma, Still.
That's it, I think.
Just Basuma. Put your comment. Put it in the comments. Put your numbers in the comments. I want to see a general feeling.
2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
They get a 2 because Conor Gallagher's of good quality. That's it.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that. 2 out of 10. Before Gallagher, it was 0, obviously. Gallagher comes in because he's a midfielder that we don't need, but he's a good one. So that's
gets
fine.
into our first 11.
Gets into our first 11. But we literally signed a player in the position, probably one of the only positions in the squad where we have quite decent depth, and that's the number 8. We have 5 of them, and then we just signed another one.
Yeah,
that's all we did. Seeing a lot of 1s, 2s, 3s. Anyone higher? Going once, going twice. Got a 5.
But you look at it though.
5 from Sidda.
Sim, you look at it. Why have we let Manor go to Fiorentina?
Yeah.
Why, if you don't bring Manor back in, why not bring back Mikey Moore? We've got wingers there that we could have utilised.
Yep.
What is the thinking behind that?
was the plan to bring someone in? I've got no idea.
So you would rather keep yourself under strength than to utilise exactly what we have, as in Manor, who he's at least got Premier League experience, you know?
Yep.
You got Mikey Moore, who, you know, got
better than no one.
Exactly.
Moore's there, who's doing better, and obviously you're selling Brennan, which is, you know, we know he can score goals. It's absolute shambles. It's an absolute shambles. Why not go for some loan deals? There must be some people on loan we can look at. Surely.
I think it's so idiotic to not only did we sell Brennan, but we re-loaned out Manor Solomon. It's just madness.
Why not give him a go?
Club have no kind of thought process or direction to it. It's just ridiculous. The whole thing stinks.
We're literally weaker now than we are at the start of the window.
Yeah.
How have we weakened ourselves? How have we managed to do that? It's impressive how we've managed to do that.
How at a time of need when we're going down, dropping like flies, we sell our top goal scorer from last season, make ourselves weaker and bring no one in. And not only that, we recall Manor Solomon and then reloan him out. Like, how does that make sense? Seriously, this club is so in the bin.
It's absolutely nuts. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how this club operates. It's like, how have we managed to go into a window we were so desperate for? We were like, okay, thank God the window's here. We can do something, prove the team. And we've gone from that situation and get a bunch of injuries during the window and still ended up weaker.
Yeah. This has got to be up. This Brennan Johnson thing has got to be up there with selling Davinson Sanchez with no backup centre-back after the window had closed. It really is.
So brainless. It's so brainless. You probably could have got 30 million for him in the summer if you waited.
Probably.
So I don't understand the need to rush to sell him now.
How many games would Brennan have started since leaving the club? Probably a high percentage of them.
Probably most games since Kudus was out. Although Odobert has come in and done well, so credit to him.
Yeah. But he can't be the only option, though.
Yeah.
He's asked to play every single game now.
We're bloody had to play Sarr on the right.
We've got Moani as well, who'll play on the wing sometimes.
Yeah, but he doesn't even want to be here.
We actually forced Tell and Moani to stay here this window as well.
We've got two attackers who both don't want to be here. And we've got to rely on them now.
God, at least Brennan wanted to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And you know what? If Solomon wants to come in, that'll be big for him. And he would, like, at least try his all to do something.